week, so I'll be 100% full go ready for spring.
Excellent.
Jim, you had a real good September after coming back from your injury. I'm curious with the additions here, how you look at this bullpen, in particular because you've been so versatile wherever they've needed you in the bullpen, how you feel that will affect you and how it will help you.
Being able to have the experience to do a bunch of different things, we'll figure out we'll figure out everybody's goal. I just want to get started. Nothing crazy.
Jeremy, last year you had a real good year in AAA for the Blue Jays. After 2 years before that, you were the closer. What does this opportunity coming to this team mean to you?
Well, it means a lot. Just coming from Toronto in a situation that just kind of didn't work out for me. It's good to have a fresh start and new faces and a new fan base and just trying to get after business and win some games.
Kevin, you had a great year closing for the Jays last year in the division. You became a free agent. You stayed within the division. Was that important to you, the competitive nature of closing in the AL East?
I enjoyed the AL East. I wasn't scared to come back in the division. Some guys run from it. Just looking for an opportunity and an organization and a team going in the right direction.
And Rick, we still don't know what role you're going to have, but I guess if you're on the 25-man roster, that's not going to matter, is it?
No, that's the main goal right there.
If you had your preference, would you rather start or relieve? I know you haven't had a lot of relief experience.
I'd rather start just because I got more experience and then as a starter.
With several of the relievers having closing experience, we don't know how it's going to work out. You obviously were a closer for the Blue Jays all year last year. Is that something competitive-wise that you look forward to? And Jim mentioned you get to spring training and things work out. Is that how you're all looking at that? Because there's so many in the bullpen. Even Michael Gonzalez is not here today that's had the closing experience. Do you look forward to that?
Oh, of course. What that allows us, we're deep all the way through. Guys that have finished ball games out and they understand what it's like to have the pressure of the ninth inning is going to help with the success earlier in the game as well.
Does it matter? I'm sure Montreal is going to decide on one for the closing spot, but there are a lot of big outs in the 6th, 7th, and 8th innings. Is that something that you strive for, to be able to say, yeah, I got that big out and hand it over to the next guy? Is that something, Jeremy, you've done? Well, I know Jim's done.
Yeah, that's like the biggest thing in the games. The last 3 outs are the ones that everybody remembers, but games are sometimes won and lost in the 6th, 7th, and 8th, and you're only as good as your weakest link, and it's good to have a bunch of guys that know how to get outs in big situations, especially in this division.
Jason, you excelled in the move to the bullpen. Obviously, it couldn't have been very difficult because you did excel going from the starting. What did you have to learn from being a starter and pitching every 5 days when they asked you to become a reliever?
The biggest adjustment for me was just getting a routine down that worked for me as a starter. You kind of get 5 days mapped out. You know exactly what you have to do every day, but as a reliever, you throw some back-to-backs, you get a couple days off, so it's just a matter of staying sharp, I think mentally more than anything, just kind of being ready for any situation. And last year I was able to lean on some of the older guys and give me some good advice as far as how to be ready and how to stay focused. And for me, the preparation in between outings was probably the biggest thing I had to adjust to, and unfortunately went pretty well last year.
Was that the same for you? Because you were in a similar situation. You were starting, and then you came to the Orioles and they had you in the bullpen. Was it a difficult thing to balance?
Yeah, just like Jason said, you gotta, as a starter, you got a routine down and you do the same thing every 5 days in the bullpen. You can go back-to-back days, or you have a couple days off, and you just gotta get a routine down as a reliever as well.
But as a reliever, since you might be back in there the next day, there's something to that as well, right? If you have a rough start, you got to sit around for 5 days and think about it as you get ready. But if you're a reliever and you have a bad day, you might be right back in there the next day. And certainly in your spot as a closer last year, if you have a bad outing, you still might help the team tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, definitely. You play day to day, game to game, and you don't want to get hung up on something that happened yesterday.
See, we have any questions from the fans?